Today I am hustling to beat the rainy, cold, windy fall weather and tidy up these garden beds and get them ready for winter. I'm also going to sow the first seeds for 2024's garden. Let's see if I can get these last few garden projects done before the weather turns to become completely awful. Wish me luck. During this busy time of year, it is easy to forget to do things to prepare our garden beds for winter, but with a few quick and easy steps, we can ensure that we set ourselves up for a good harvest next year. And as the rest of the garden is being put to bed, there's one thing that I still need to plant that I'm going to sow now so that we can harvest it in the spring. Any ideas what I'm planting? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, corn is done for the season. Woo! It's too scraggly to keep for fall decor. Got a little baby butternut squash. Didn't fully develop, but it might still be worth something. As I'm cutting back my three sisters' garden, I'm trying to especially save the roots of the beans so that the nitrogen that those plants produce can, as it decomposes, go back into the soil. So, cutting off the plants close to the soil rather than pulling them up by the stems. Okay, our tomatoes are done producing for the year. There's a couple more tomatoes on here, and we probably won't have enough more warm days for these to really get ripe outside. So I'm going to block the few that we have, put them into a basket that I don't have yet. Yeah, there's a few that have already split. We've been getting a lot of rain. Those I'm just going to leave. Let the animals have them. Alright, we're back with a bowl. Let's see which of these I'm going to try and save. This one is split already. Give that to the animals. To the animals. Oh, that's good. Okay. As I'm closing down, I'm going to try and save some of my bigger pepper plants. Just going to dig them up. Okay, I'm going to cut back all of this basil. In an ideal world, if I had lots of time, I would try and save the seeds from this because it was one of my favorite things that we grew this year. It just smells amazing. I know I have a lot of those seeds still in the seed packet, so I'm not worried about saving the seeds. In future years, hopefully I'll have kind of the time and energy to do that process as well. These are some of the t-shirt ties that I made to hold up my tomatoes. Cheap, easy DIY that helped me save a few bucks because I didn't have to buy special things to hold the tomatoes to the cages. Let me get some pots so we can put some of these bell peppers in them. Okay, the rest I'm just going to leave. This can be good organic material for next year's garden. So for this bed, I'm actually not going to totally deconstruct it because this is the one where we planted some of our fall crops in. And obviously I don't want to destroy everything we just planted. So you can see down there, we got a couple rows of peas, some Swiss chard, some other stuff starting to grow. But I am going to harvest as many of these tomatoes as I can. And then that might be it because it's starting to rain. Also probably take the sunflower down. This will be our very green tomato harvest. We were lucky enough to have a bit of a break in the rain, so I decided to get back out here and do just a little bit of fall planting. So, if you guessed in the comments I was planting garlic, you're right. Garlic is a crop that does really well when you plant it in the fall. It needs that cold season for it to really, I don't know the right term, striate and, create the cloves. So, I got a couple different varieties. I think in this container, I'm going to plant a couple of you can see that, elephant garlics. And if I get a chance to do another container, I might plant some of my other variety of garlic, a soft neck variety of garlic as well. The first thing I'm going to do is loosen up the soil a bit. This is a container that has a lot of good garden compost in it, and I know it's already quite fertile soil, but we did use this as the planter for our potatoes earlier in the season, and knowing that they would have used up a lot of the nutrients in here to create potatoes, I'm going to want to add a little bit of nutrients before getting it ready for our garlic. Okay, next I'm going to add some organic compost. This is okay. Based on the bagged instructions, I sort of guesstimated about a cup's worth of slow release organic fertilizer. Now that we've prepared our container, we're ready to add in our garlic seed. I apologize if you're hearing that loud noise. We have a neighbor that is getting their landscaping done, and they got a leaf blower blowing. So garlic seeds are actually the the cloves. So each garlic clove will split and become will grow, split into new garlic plants. So because we want to plant these about 4 to 6 inches apart, I would say that about, maybe we could get 5 plants in this pot, like that. So I'm going to try and plant these about 2 inches down with the pointy end up. I'm just kind of lightly cover it with soil. Last thing I'm going to do is add some organic matter that can break down and mulch this bed or container. All right, to mulch this in, I'm just going to add a little layer of leaves. And this will be all set to go for winter. All right, now it's the time of truth. We're going to check on our pumpkin. But before we do that, can you believe what beautiful red this blueberry bush is turning? I love this. It's giving me all the fall vibes. All right. So I'm no expert in squash, but what I've learned is that your pumpkin is ready to pick when the first little tendrils coming off the pumpkin start to die back. And we've got kind of like one here and one over here. And then when you can poke your pumpkin, let's see if I can get that to focus, and it doesn't leave any indentation from your fingernail. So it's like sounding pretty solid, thinking it might be ready. Ooh, look at this gorgeous pumpkin. This was the variety of pumpkin called the Cinderella pumpkin. I was able to grow my pumpkin in this small space because I planted the pumpkin down in the bed down here. It kind of crawled up the fence and into this bush. And luckily our neighbors behind us were nice enough not to take down the vine. When it crawled over to their side, we just kind of trained it back this way. And then I used an old t-shirt as a sling so that it could have support as it grew on the side of this bush. So now that we have our gorgeous pumpkin, look at that. I think we're ready to take down our pumpkin support.
And now for the not so glamorous task of raking the leaves. Would this really be a fall garden cleanup video if we didn't have to rake some leaves? I do feel obligated to say that technically you do not have to rake leaves, in an ecological sense. Plants, animals, insects in our world, they are quite happy to enjoy the leaves exactly where they fall. And, if we lived out in the woods all alone, maybe we could just never clean up any leaves at all. But given that I live in a neighborhood with other humans who enjoy looking at aesthetically beautiful spaces, we rake the leaves, we keep people happy. One way that I've found to try and meet in the middle on this, benefiting both wildlife and making a beautiful space for us to live in, is to remove the leaves from the main areas in the front of the yard and to try and repurpose those leaves whole somewhere else. So today I'm using the leaves as mulch cover for my vegetable garden beds because they'll add organic matter that will help to enrich the soil. You could also use your fall leaves to mulch your flower beds where you have flowers or perennial plants, or around the base of your trees. They would make an excellent source of mulch for that as well.
Thanks so much for sharing time with me today in the garden. I know it can be so busy this time of year between getting ready for the fall holidays and all the other demands of life. But before you get totally burnt out on gardening for the season, make sure to feed your garden beds, cover them with mulch, leaves, compost, something that can help feed your soil for next year. That's going to ensure that you have a successful start of the season next spring when you're ready to plant. As we're wrapping up this 2023 garden season, let me know what things you're excited about for 2024's garden and what things you would like to see videos on the channel over the winter. Would you like to see more cooking and preserving videos, more garden planning and prep, more about sustainable ways to manage your backyard or garden space? I appreciate you so much for sharing your time with me today. If you enjoyed this garden video, I will link my September garden tour in the end screen so that you can keep on watching and hear more about all of the things that I grew in the garden this year and what successes I had and what lessons I learned. Again, my name is Raina, and I hope that if you enjoyed this video, you'll stick around for more. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.